Hello again. Colonel George Washington here. Remember, commander of the 1st Virginia Regiment in the war against the French and the Indian. And last time we spoke, we talked a bit about what this month is, the month of military children, April, and how each and every one of you have different experiences. Now, my own childhood is interesting. I lost my father when I was very young, 11 years old. He unfortunately passed away. And I was raised by a single mother. Now, maybe not the same as each and every one of you, but perhaps some of you have similar circumstances. But what I do understand is the absence of a parent for at least a short period of time, and in my case, a very long time. My mother raised myself and 4 younger siblings, all younger than myself, all slightly similar to me. And I have a tendency to be very excitable, to care about fairness, and I have a pretty bad temper. I get angry fairly easily. It's probably the red hair. But anyhow, all of this to say, when I was very young, my father taken away from me, my mother raised me in his stead. And she taught me several important things that you probably are familiar with. The importance of family, the importance of honesty, of resilience, of responsibility, of service, and caring for those around you. Now, those are things that I have learned at a very young age and have continued forward to this day. You probably hear a lot about this from your own parents. Growing up was difficult sometimes. My mother did her best. She raised us very, very well. She was a very strong woman, very opinionated, and always made sure we did the right thing when she was watching. Now, there were times we, of course, acted like children do. We played in rivers and creeks. We climbed trees. I teased my younger sister. I suspect all of you have never done anything like that before. You've never teased any of your siblings, because you all are, of course, much better than that, I'm sure. Not like me at all. We all know you teased your siblings. It's part of what happens as a young person. But all of it was interesting. I enjoyed my life. It was difficult because my father was gone, and I had to grow up very quickly. I had to become the man of the house at that time, at 11 years old, and I did not have much of a childhood from that point forward. I began to work at a very young age, surveying in the frontier, measuring people's land and property, eventually becoming a soldier. But the most important things I learned, like I said before, responsibility, service to one's family, to one's country, to one's king at that time. Perhaps a fun little story to highlight my exuberance of youth and to show how similar we perhaps may be, even though you might not realize it. When I was about, how old was I? 15, 16 years old. I went out swimming. My house overlooked the Rappahannock River near Fredericksburg, Virginia. Beautiful river. Lots of stepping stones, lots of frogs you could find, all sorts of animals to chase, snakes to catch and put into your sister's bedroom. And I went swimming, as often I would do. It was a hot day. As I was splashing about in the water, 2 older people came along and found my clothes lying on the riverbank. And they were 2 ladies who determined that the money inside my pockets did not, in fact, belong to me. They decided it was theirs. And they stole the money and some of my clothes. So I had to make my way back to the house, dressed as God intended me, and suffer the embarrassment of my siblings laughing at me and mocking poor George for not paying attention to where his clothes walked away to. Maybe no one's ever stolen your clothes, but I'm sure you've had things like that where you've been a bit embarrassed in the past. See, like I said, not that different than you might think. I look forward to talking to you again very soon. I'm going to tell you a story about an adventure in the frontier, one that put me on the path towards becoming a military leader, and eventually, perhaps someone that you might be more familiar with in a few years. See you soon. Purple Up for Military Kids, supporting the military child, April 15th. Purple Up for Military Kids is a day for DODEA communities to wear purple to show support and thank military children for their strength and sacrifices. Purple indicates that all branches of the military are supported. Air Force blue, Army green, Navy blue, Marine red, and Coast Guard blue all are thought to combine together as a single color, purple.